Hey guys, welcome back in the house again. We just had 4 different types of coaches: football, volleyball, basketball. We are rolling here at the center. The Z Lounge is in the house. We're bringing people in all the time. And guess what? We've got another standout in the IFL. This guy was one of my personal favorites watching him until he got hurt. He's a class act. He's a top-notch fighter. And to say he's been around the tree, he's been around the tree, over the bush, and over the hill. How you doing, Gideon Ray?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Oh, dude, we're smoking over here. We're just flying.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Man, we were talking a little bit off the air about some of the people that you work with in the IFL. I think a lot of us need to know that the guys that work with the IFL are some of the top-notch people and treat you guys with a lot of respect.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. I tell you what I do. I love the IFL with all my heart. Like you said, I've been around the tree, over the bush, under the car, and behind the house, man. I fought for a lot of different organizations, and this is by far the best one that I've worked for yet.
Now, you're kind of sort of unusual in your background as far as mixed martial arts. Talk about that just a little bit and let us know, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, man. Even before I started MMA, I did Taekwondo for 16 years, and I did it competitively. I started out as a kid fighting for the Amateur Athletic Union, and by the time I was 13 or 14, I had basically fought in just about every state in the U.S. I went to men's division, which is 18 and up, actually, when I turned 14. And at that time, I won some national titles, lots of state tournaments, and things of that nature. And it was for the United States Taekwondo Union, which is the only organization that you can go to the Olympics through. So, like 3 3-minute rounds, just like, Olympic boxing and stuff like that. So I had a great time with that, man. And I possibly had just about, I would say about 200 matches in Taekwondo tournaments, whether that was local, Midwest, national, state, or whatever, but all combined approximately 200. And then for about the past 8 years, I've been doing MMA.
And you're darn good at it, by the way. I can't use stronger language because we're trying to keep this as a family, affair here. But, dude, when I saw you fight Heleno and you kept coming out from underneath the submissions, dude, I was pulling for you so hard. And then what happened at the end is you hurt your arm, and it looked bad. And I'm telling you, dude, you were the toughest guy that I knew because I just saw that arm just go. And I was just, you stood there, you got up, you walked out, and my God. Tell us what happened right there.
No retreat, no surrender. I tell you what, man, dude, number one, Delson Heleno, he's a quality guy and he's a class act, man. And I appreciate the experience of being able to fight this guy. To me, the tougher the opponent is, man, the more I look forward to the fight. So it was a pleasure to fight with this guy. You're right, he's a world-class jiu-jitsu guy, and so I was expecting him to be pulling out a lot of submissions and stuff like that. So I worked a lot of escapes and things of that nature. And I would have preferred to keep the fight standing, and it's not because I'm incompetent on the ground, because I'm not. I'm very, very competent on the ground. It's just that I like a little bit more excitement, man. I like to roll the dice and take that risk. But it was a good fight. It was back and forth. I'm just sad that it ended like it did. My elbow slipped out of joint. I figured I could hold out a little bit. I thought I was going to be able to counter this move. And then the next thing I know, bam, elbow slips out of joint, and that's the end of the fight. So it really sucked for me, man. I was looking forward to a skillful match, and I was planning on coming out the victorious one.
I kind of give credit to Heleno in that because he identified there was something wrong and stopped. And that just says a volume about your profession.
Exactly. It shows that we're not savages and we're not barbarians, that this is a sport that takes skill, it takes brain power, and we're not just a bunch of idiots running around having a few drinks before we jump in the ring and then beating each other over the head with clubs. Yeah, These are professionals.
Yeah, we'll leave that for Tank Abbott because he seems like he does that all the time.
Crazy man.
Oh God, he's like over the top. I mean, he's just he's what mixed martial arts had before, and I respect Tank Abbott for what he's done as far as bringing attention to the sport. But we've moved past a lot of those images we have to now with what you're doing.
Yes, we have, man. And I tell you what, thank God for it. Because initially getting involved in this sport was kind of rough. Because when people found out what you were doing, they automatically assumed that they assumed something negative about your character. And I tell you what, and I'm not just saying this because I'm involved in the sport, but most of the quality relationships that I have had with people have come from the people that have been involved in the martial arts or mixed martial arts or high-level competitors. And that, you know why? Because it takes a certain amount of discipline. It takes a certain amount of class, and it takes a certain amount of stick-to-itiveness, you know, that a lot of people generally don't have. And so when you meet these athletes at this high level, you know, at least you know that much about them, because otherwise they wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing. You know, not to mention it takes a lot of heart, too. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I was singing the song. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you with what you said totally. I was just shaking my head because you can't see me, so, yeah.
Oh. So that's why I enjoy this sport so much, man. You know, initially when I got involved in MMA, I never figured that it would take me as far as I'm going with it. You know, I got into it initially because I love competitive sports, combat sports in particular. And, hey, lo and behold, look at where we are today, man. And like you said, we have to thank people like, you know, we have to appreciate the Tank Abbott's and Keith Hackneys and, you know, people that did what they did back in the days to give us a springboard to make this sport something that's mainstream, you know, and then the newer people and the newer organizations, the best organizations like the IFL that are really helping this sport to evolve and turn into something much bigger than what it initially started out to be. So, you know, we got a lot to be thankful for, man. And then the fans, we cannot forget the fans. If the fans, you know, didn't do all the things that they did for the sport as far as supporting the events, supporting the fights, you know, it just being supportive 100%, then there wouldn't be a demand for this, man, you know. And we couldn't do any of this without them. None of us would have jobs, you know.
Yeah, well, I think what it comes down to it is that the mixed martial arts hit a growth area, because boxing, and I'm going to say this because I don't have to be politically correct, boxing has been laden with corruption from day one. The fights have been overhyped and no fight. I mean, I forget the title, the little accolade. Is it hype or is it a fight? It's most of the time a hype. And
yeah, I have to agree with that.
And there's no fighting. I'm sorry, De La Hoya, you fought fine. Mayweather, you're fast. I love the way you trash talk, Mayweather, I do. But I saw that fight twice, and I'm telling you, I never saw a biggest standstill fight ever. And
exactly.
It doesn't make it. I just disagree with the whole concept. Boxing is killing itself by corruption. It's killing itself. It's boring. The fights from Sugar Ray, from Leonard to Boom Boom Mancini to my man Marvelous Hagler, were the epitome of boxing. Movement, back and forth, hitting. That was, and now mixed martial arts has filled that void very nicely. You guys are well spoken. You got, what's great about talking to you guys, you've been fighting for 20 years. You sound like you just got right out of school and you're ready to go. Poor Holyfield, every time you get him on, you can't figure out what he's trying to say because he's so punch drunk from the abuse in boxing.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. And see, a lot of people say, oh, you know, MMA is so dangerous, it's so dangerous, and, you know, you might end up talking like that or this and that. Actually, it's not as dangerous as it looks. It's very dangerous. Number one, he's a skilled professional. Number two, in a sport like boxing, which I do love boxing, I like Western boxing, I like the skill of it. But like you said, I don't like all the other the side shows and the magic tricks. You know, this guy looked like he won, but he's not going to win. And, you know, I don't like all of that with boxing. Boxing as a skill, yes, I like it. But boxing as a business, I hate it. But the reason that MMA is not, you know, that a lot of us don't end like that is because the tiny gloves that we wear is not going to allow us to take brain trauma for 8 rounds, 9 rounds, 10 rounds. You know, with somebody just going for the main target, your head, punching you in the head. We got so many other things we can attack. There's joint submissions. There's always a way out of the fight for the guy. If he gets locked up in something or he gets hurt, he can always tap out. And boxing is not the same way. These guys get hit so hard in the head, they don't even know that a blood vessel's about to rupture or something's going on inside their head, the brain's bleeding or something like that. They don't know. So they go here and continue to take the rest of the brain trauma until the fight's over with.